It was always cars. Motorcycles were a close second, but anything to do with cars, whether it was racing them, selling them, restoring them, or going to the greatest spectacle in racing, that's how I remember my dad. I think it was the thrill of driving that first attracted him to this passion for the automobile. Driving fast, hugging the pavement, driving down a winding country road, the wind through his hair while he was listening to the music coming from under the hood. His affair with the automobile began when he got caught up in a new kind of auto racing known as the midgets. In the 30s and 40s, these small race cars raced on tracks at county fairs and even on rough tracks carved out of cornfields, and my dad was there. James Garfield Smales, Jr. was born in 1918. Named after his father, a doctor, he led a privileged life growing up in Coshocton, Ohio. After graduating from Muskingum College and serving in World War II, he returned home to open his DeSoto Plymouth dealership in 1946. The automobile industry was hit especially hard during the war, but by then the automobiles that had not been manufactured for over 3 years were in high demand. As Dad grew older and took on family responsibilities, his thriving dealership offered him the opportunities that could support his passion as it changed from being about efficiency and speed to the style and craftsmanship of restoring the automobiles of his youth, an interest that would far outlast his 36 years as an automobile dealer. Dad could take something that had been neglected and appreciate that it was once a thing of beauty, and then the challenge was on to nurse it back to the proud status it once enjoyed. It took patience and a knowledge of the mechanical nature of cars, as well as an appreciation of the past when these machines were great enablers of a better life and provided mobility and freedom. He restored more than 20 cars. However, before he ever said goodbye to any of his restorations, he shared the fun of riding in these magnificent machines with friends and family, often piling the neighborhood kids in and taking us for ice cream, or setting off for an antique car club trip with the family on board. As I grew older, Dad restored a 1928 Model A Ford Roadster, which he gave to me. I named her Penelope, and the happy memories in that car are unending. Dad and I continued to travel to parades and car meets together, but this time I was at the wheel of my own classic car, while he drove his 1924 Chrysler. When he got older and his stable of cars dwindled to his 40 Ford, he made me proud as year after year he stood on the reviewing stand of the local car parade, adding his comments about each classic as it passed by. As an adult, I came to respect and appreciate his creativity, patience, resourcefulness, and dedication to something greater than himself that captivated him all the days of his life. His interests have fueled my appreciation for the past, whether it's the restoration of an old building, collecting antiques, driving a classic car, going to the races, or even watching old movies. Dad's interest in automobiles has been passed on to my children, especially when it comes to the IndyCar series. However, for me, just being in the presence of a restored antique car provides a very sensory experience. The smell of the leather upholstery, the sound of the Auga horn, the gleam of the freshly polished brass or chrome, the smell of the oil and gas, and the purring of a 90-year-old engine bring to my mind a picture of my dad in his greased and stained overalls, wrench in hand, tilted ball cap, and a smile on his face. Surely this is a man in his element, and a very treasured memory for me. However, his true legacy for all of us is one of love and putting family first. This legacy has enabled me to bring his values into my other relationships so that I can be a loving and compassionate parent, a true friend, and the people closest to me know how much I care about them.